Iranians are angry over their government's accidental shooting down of a passenger plane, taking to the streets in protest. President Trump offering his support to the citizens of Iran, but the president not finding support here at home, with a new poll showing more than half of Americans disapprove of his handling of the Iraq situation. ABC's Stephanie Ramos reports.
Protesters taking to the streets in Iran, shouting anti-government slogans following the Iranian military's admission that it accidentally shot down that Ukrainian passenger plane, killing all 176 people on board. President Trump tweeting directly to the Iranian people in both Farsi and English. "My administration will continue to stand with you. We are following your protests closely and are inspired by your courage." Here at home, a new ABC News Ipsos poll found 56% of Americans disapprove of the president's handling of the Iran situation. 43% approve. Only 25% of those surveyed report feeling safer following the U.S. strike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. 52% feel less safe. The Trump administration insists the killing of Soleimani stopped a planned attack against Americans. Defense Secretary Mark Esper was asked on CBS's Face the Nation if there was any specific evidence of an imminent threat.
I didn't see one with regard to 4 embassies. What I'm saying is I share the president's view that probably my expectation was they were going to go after our embassies.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on ABC's This Week says she doesn't think the Trump administration is being straight with Americans about the reason for taking out Soleimani and doesn't buy their reasoning for not notifying congressional leaders in advance.
We had to keep it close because we didn't want it to get out. What you're saying is you don't trust the Congress of the United States.
Just last week, the House voted in favor of a non-binding war powers resolution meant to limit the president's military action towards Iran as tensions escalate. Similar resolutions have been introduced in the Senate, where passage is less likely. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.